Good morning, America. Ramblin' Randy here. It is Monday morning, November the 18th. The time is just shy of 8 a.m. here in the deep piney woods of East Texas. Again, Ramblin' Randy here. This is Zero Hedge. This is where I usually start out my morning's research day. Big week we have here coming up. We'll go over a couple things here real quickly that you can be aware of. One of the things I'd like to see people start doing in the future is weaning themselves away from the things that I'm showing you here. If you're not a deep researcher, the objective here is for all of us to change where our attention is being dominated by the mainstream news and the media that is tainting the content or the validity and the truthfulness in most cases, because they're all agenda-based, and that agenda is not in our best favor, is what we're gleaning from the last 100 years. So I start my day out researching Zero Hedge, some of Drudge. Drudge is drifting a little bit on, could have been, some say, compromised. I do not know, but what we look for, no matter who the author or where the source originated, we filter through all the chaff, so to speak, and cull out only the good content that we consider of value enough to bring it over to our website ourselves, the Rabbit Hole Herald, where tens of thousands, if not more, people can see this content. We can all comment on it, and we can show our tokens. We can give tokens of appreciation for the value that we gained from the comment, as well as the individual that brought us the article or the video or the material for us as a group to study. This is going to be an internal, private, closed, but open for new members that are in harmony with our theme of thought, which is holding on to the rule of law, living under the Constitution and what it stands for as originally stated, and the fair exchange of value in all of our affairs, no matter what that they are, and the complete completely annihilating the Federal Reserve Bank and all that it stands for forever and a day. I will say this again, and I mean it from the core of my being. We're out there as citizens and as a country supposedly trying to do the right thing. This is not the case. As you'll see here on Drudge, there are many cases that will explain that if it weren't for the fact that the United States is currently standing as the world's reserve currency, and I am proud of that, if it had been used for the greater good of others and for its sole purpose as a unit of denomination for the internal use in the United States of America that could be exchanged for other currencies based on the par value of that country in relation to the strength of the country that it's exchanging. In this case, this example, the United States exchanging into pesos, into marks, into francs, like it used to be. Now that they've got it centralized, there's room, and as we can very well see, there's room for massive manipulation. Since we're the reserve currency of the world, we can print money at will, which means that's not hard paper money, that's just plain old digits. These digits can be used for hard assets, that black ops, and black ops means covert or sub rosa, meaning secret groups of military or / military fascist type of collaboration between what are supposedly government agencies. There's so many supposedlys in the world today. It's unbelievable. The CIA is a damn sure a rogue agency that is really literally not part of the United States government, just like the Federal Reserve. All created on or about the same time, shortly after Woodrow Wilson gave our country up again to the global bankers and the what's called the elite. Is just the upper tier of thieves. All of these things are gangs. Everything is a gang. Get that through your head. Everything is a gang. The only gang that is real is the original gang, the human being gang, and that has freedom. Freedom of this word freedom is being so thrown around so much that it loses its value. It loses its impact. Just like love. Love is losing its impact because it's so heavily used. I like to use the word harmony, and complete coherent harmony. That is love, is it not? But I get confused with the word love, or conflicted with the word love. Anyway, we'll see demonstrations here on Zero Hedge, if you are a critical thinker, that you can see that this fiat money system globally is under serious review, to say the very least. And I believe that the reason that the global stocks are going through the roof is that Trump is going to use, as well as other countries are now using, that worthless paper fiat money, be it paper or digits, to buy hard assets before this paper tiger falls. And that's exactly what Trump is going to do, and I sure hope he does. I hope he runs that deficit up to Google level. You know, that's an actual denomination. That's a number. That's a big number. Google's a big number. Beyond trillions and zillions and gillions, there's a Google. But to spend as much of this worthless paper fiat money under the centralized banking system to repair our infrastructure, just burn them damn digits up because they're endless pit. Just use them up and then crash this bitch. And then crash it and do a complete debt forgiveness. Get the picture? Use as much of that worthless paper fiat that they have created. The they is the upper tier of the globalists and the bankers that are trying to dominate the world through currency, through value that people work and earn and store it in a storehouse of value, like their storehouse of value being the dollar. It is absolutely a no-go, and it will hold itself out to be true. They're really having real problems over in Hong Kong. They're trying to fight off the communist China in Hong Kong based on a treaty that they had years ago. Now, this Prince Andrew with the Epstein deal, this is living proof that the stories that we hear about that people in high positions and very wealthy people are involved in child trafficking and child sex and all sorts of crazy things. This is living proof. That's going to come to roost here soon as well. Banning fossil fuel investments is a huge mistake. This is something that's inevitable. I am an oil field man from Core. I'm sitting here in the world's richest acre, the city of the world's richest acre here on the blue planet. I'm there right now. It's about a half mile. The very ground that I'm sitting on right here and now has probably produced hundreds of thousands, if not millions of barrels of oil right here underneath where I'm currently sitting, right here on this property. So this is something that will happen. It's inevitable. It's a very crude means of cracking into energy. It is, but it's going to be changing. But for now, there's so much infrastructure surrounding the fossil fuels that until we transition back over for our plastics and what have you into the hemp plant, which Henry Ford proved that you could build an entire car with hemp and its byproducts, clothing, oils, cooking, everything. Hemp could do it and do it in a much more friendly environmental way. One of the big, looky here, the international, the ECB members hint central banks will buy stocks when situations get really bad. In other words, that's a QE kind of program. That's just where the central banks of Europe, the European Central Bank, the ECB, will just use some of that fake money, those digits, to infuse into their economy to make it look like it's okay. That's bullshit. all they're doing is injecting more poison and just belaying the inevitable crash of the thing. Moving right along real quickly, I want to get down here and show you some of the things that one particular article that I wanted to highlight, which is this article here, Endless Wars. If you come to Zero Hedge and you read this by this fellow here, Tyler Durden, I want to get Tyler to be one of our instructors or teachers over at the Rabbit Hole Herald. We're going to have a complete educational course on how the Federal Reserve works and how really evil, bottom core evil, the root of all evil for the last 150 years has been this, the theme of the centralized banking system started with Amschel Rothschild. And so we'll go over all these things as a study course. It's the only way we can win is to be educated. The only way we can win is to be educated. The only way that we can win is to be educated. And we've got to get as many people educated as we possibly can. Come over. You can join the Rabbit Hole Herald. We will soon be up and rolling. You can see our website here. This is where it is being housed now. This is, I do not believe, is active. To reach it, you could try, but we'll see. But it's at rhh.news. That's plural, news with an S. RHH standing for Rabbit Hole Herald, and obviously it's .news, not .com, rhh.news, and you can come over and see if you can register. I do not believe it's hot yet. We had a long discussion last night. It's coming very soon. Once you register, you'll be in our queue, if you will, and I can communicate with you very quickly of when we're going to be a live launch. That's all I have for today. Give us positive energy to the Rabbit Hole Herald. Remember, that's rhh.news, and we will be up and rolling very soon, and we will be a force to be reckoned with. Remember, once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, they either cease to be mistaken or they cease to be honest. What say you? Ramblin' Randy, we down.